Find other great podcasts like this one at podmoth.network.
Hey, what are you up to?
Oh, hi. I'm listening to this awesome podcast.
Ooh, I love finding awesome new podcasts. What is it about?
Well, it's about a bunch of things. Sometimes history, sometimes hauntings, sometimes it's spooky, and sometimes it's funny, but it's always interesting.
Ooh, okay, that sounds great. What's special about it?
Well, each week, Celine picks a topic and reads it, and
Wait, what?
Matt creates a pairing of a treat and a drink to go with this peculiar tale.
Wait.
And they talk about it, and they joke about it.
Hold on.
And sometimes they have guests and have even more fun.
Wait a second.
What?
That's our podcast.
Yeah, you're right.
Why are you listening to our podcast?
Well, you know, we're heading into the long dark of winter, and that can make some people feel kind of isolated, and listening to Peculiar Pairings is a great way to feel like you're hanging out with good friends at the push of a button.
Well, that actually sounds really nice. Kind of sounds like everyone should be listening to Peculiar Pairings.
You know, I couldn't agree more.
So if this sounds like it's piqued your interest, you should search Peculiar Pairings podcast on your favorite podcasting platform today.
Yeah, we're everywhere. Come check it out.
Find us. We're there.
In a world filled with mysteries, where the unknown lurks in the shadows, two intrepid hosts dare to uncover the truth. Join Glenn and Oma on a journey into the realm of Caffeinated Conspiracies, now a part of the Podmoth Network.
Hey, I'm Glenn.
And I'm Oma.
Together, we explore the unexplained, from ancient legends to modern-day enigmas.
Join us as we delve into the depths of conspiracy theories, paranormal phenomena, and everything in between.
With a blend of curiosity, laughter, and a dash of caffeine, they'll take you on a wild ride through the mysteries of the universe.
So grab your favorite brew, sit back, and let's uncover the truth together.
Because truth, like coffee, is best served bold.
Caffeinated Conspiracies. Get ready to awaken your mind.
Welcome to the Brutal, Bizarre, and Boozy podcast. I'm Deklan, the son.
And I'm Jane, the mom. This is the podcast where we talk about brutal crimes, bizarre occurrences, and get you drunk with cocktails themed around one of our stories. To lighten things up, we'd like to end our time with a chaser. Please keep in mind some of our stories might be upsetting to young or sensitive ears.
We love hearing from our listeners, so feel free to contact us by email or social media. You can find our contact info in the show notes for this episode. If you'd like to support us through Patreon, you can find us there at Brutal, Bizarre, and Boozy Podcast, or use the link in our show notes.
Welcome back, everybody. Thanks for joining us again for another episode of Brutal, Bizarre, and Boozy, your favorite podcast that you love to binge because we have so many episodes.
Yeah, always good to hang out with you guys.
Yeah. What story do you have for us today, Declan?
Today I just have a collection of odd and horrifying medical treatments from history.
Medical treatments, not medical.
Yes. Think of like
conditions?
lobotomies.
Ooh, yeah. Okay.
I've just got a big fat list of them that we're going to talk about.
Oh, okay.
Riff on.
That, it can't be good.
No, they're not great.
Okay.
What do you have for us today, Mom?
I am going to be telling you about Alex Ewing, and specifically a spree of killings in Colorado that he is associated with. And to go with that story, I brought the Yellow Hammer drink. It is made up of 1 ounce of vodka, 1 ounce of Malibu rum, 1 ounce of dark rum, 4 ounces of pineapple juice, and 3 ounces of orange juice. The steps are to fill a glass with ice, add your ingredients to the glass, and stir well. You can garnish it with a cherry and an orange wheel if you like. I did not do that because I was being super lazy today. So
Me too.
it sounds kind of like a painkiller cocktail to me.
Yeah.
So
I think it
let's
should
see
be
if
pretty
that's
good.
what it tastes like.
Very bright.
It's pretty close. Yeah. I get more
Refreshing.
orange. Yes. It's tasty. I like it.
Yeah, I like it too. Very good.
I will admit that I used white rum instead of dark rum, only because I thought I had dark rum and I didn't. And it was too late for me to run to the liquor store and get dark rum. So it's got light rum.
That works.
Okay. Let's get into this story. We're going back to the 80s again. I feel like I have been stuck in a time warp for 1980s lately. Specifically, January of 1984, which should have been a restful time for the residents of the communities near Denver, Colorado. Unfortunately, it became a nightmare for many families. That nightmare began in the dark of night in early January. Jim and Kim Hobenschild were new homeowners in Aurora, Colorado. One night, Kim woke up with a sudden, severe pain in her head. She opened her eyes to see a man standing over her. He was holding a hammer, which he threw at her before running out of the house. There are not very many things that I would think waking up to see would be more terrifying than a stranger standing over you and having a headache. And he was holding a hammer. And yes, why did she have a pain in her head? Because he had hit her in the head with a hammer. Kim's husband, Jim, had also been assaulted that night and received a skull fracture. Even though they were both severely injured, they survived the terrifying attack. Officers began searching the area surrounding the home and found Kim's purse nearby, but nothing had been stolen from it. The hammer used in the assault did not belong to the couple. Of course, one of the obvious questions was, how did this man get into Jim and Kim's home? There was no evidence of forced entry because it wasn't needed. This was a time when it was common to leave your doors unlocked. Also, the couple had left their garage door open and the door from the garage going into the house was unlocked. Unfortunately, police found no evidence to lead them to a suspect. About a week later, there was a similar attack in a nearby town about 25 miles from Aurora. Patricia Smith had recently moved to Lakewood, Colorado. She was an interior designer with many clients in Denver. She lived in a townhouse with her daughter Sherry and 2 grandchildren. When Patricia didn't pick up her daughter after the workday, Sherry and her children, which would be Patricia's grandchildren, got a ride home from another family member. Before entering the home, they could see the TV was on through the windows, and there was no outward sign of any problems inside of the home. But that changed when they went inside. Patricia's partially clothed body was lying on the floor in a pool of blood. Her head had been covered by a child's blanket. When the police arrived a few minutes later, they uncovered Patricia's body to find the physical damage and located a bloody hammer laying on the floor next to her, which is why I brought the yellow hammer cocktail today, in case you hadn't figured that out.
Yeah, perfect match.
Yes, it was actually, because I believe in the first one, the hammer was actually yellow, which I did not intend. I only picked the drink because it had hammer in the name, but then it was like, oh, Andy had a yellow hammer. Again, there was no evidence of a forced entry, but there was an open garage door. To investigators, it appeared the killer had been lying in wait inside the home. Patricia's autopsy showed she had been sexually assaulted, and they counted 17 wounds to her head, which is a lot.
Yeah.
I can't even imagine hitting something 17 times without getting tired. 5 times and I'm tired.
I think if you're in the state of mind to kill someone, you could probably hit them 150 times and not realize it.
Well, yeah, that's true. That's true.
Whether you're
Adrenaline
mad
and
or
all.
adrenaline or whatever it is. Yeah.
Right.
I
True.
think you could hit them 1,000,000 times.
Yeah. That same day, there was another attack back in Aurora. Donna Dixon and her boyfriend, Ronald Holm, were living in a condo together. Both worked in the airline industry. That evening, Donna returned home after running some errands. She was attacked after pulling into the garage, hit in the side of the head with a hammer.
Ooh.
When Ron returned the following day, he found droplets of blood in the garage leading into the house. He found Donna lying in bed, battered but alive. She was quickly taken to the hospital, and police found a lot of blood inside the car and inside of the garage.
If you
From
hit
the
me in the head
trail
with a
of-
hammer, just make sure it's a fucking killing blow. That sounds
Right.
awful to survive.
Yes. Yes. She
just
did
hitting your head
survive.
on like a desk, like
Exactly.
oh god. Ugh.
I stumbled in the pantry Friday. I clipped my knee on something and stumbled and knocked the side of my head into the corner of the wall. And I was like, wow, that's going to leave a mark. Yeah, that's going to not feel great. That was barely anything. I can't imagine
And
it.
it still hurts like a motherfucker. Like
Yeah. Yeah. From the trail of blood, it appeared that Donna had been dragged through the garage and sexually assaulted in there. Then she was left. Police also found another hammer. This time it was inside Donna's car. Police believe that the perpetrator followed Donna in through the open garage door and then attacked her. Less than a week later, the attacker struck again. Bruce and Deborah Bennett worked together in a family furniture business. They lived with their 2 young children in Aurora. When Bruce and Deborah didn't show up for work, Bruce's mom called the home but got no answer. She decided to go to their house to check on them and noticed that Deborah's purse and its contents were lying on the ground outside the home, and the door from the garage into the house was slightly ajar. Sadly, when she entered the house, she found Bruce's bloody body on the floor at the foot of the stairs. Evidence of a struggle was seen on the stairs with several spindles broken. It appeared that Bruce had encountered his killer at the top of the stairs, and they had tumbled down to the bottom where Bruce was killed. He'd been hit multiple times in the head, and his throat had been cut with a butcher knife from the kitchen. Police found Deborah's partially clothed body in the bedroom. Their oldest daughter, Melissa, who was 7 years old, was found in her bedroom next to her bed. Both Deborah and Melissa had been sexually assaulted and bludgeoned to death. Their youngest daughter, Vanessa, who was 3, was found beat between her bed and the wall. So she had slid down. Vanessa had also been beaten severely and also sexually assaulted, but she was somehow alive. She had a significant amount of trauma to her entire body, but she survived, and her physical recovery would take a long time. Basically, she had to relearn everything. She was 3. And she had to relearn how to walk and talk and all of the things. The entire home was covered in blood, and there were fingerprints throughout. At first, it appeared there had been a robbery, but not much had been taken. Again, there was no sign of forced entry, but there was an open garage door. Police believe that was likely the entry point. Local law enforcement sought the assistance of community, asking for tips and help from the FBI with a profile of the perpetrator. But unfortunately, nothing came from all of the tips. The FBI profile linked the crimes from Aurora and Lakewood, but a suspect was not identified through all of the investigative efforts. In the Denver area, the attacks stopped as quickly as they started. But the killer wasn't done. He had just moved on. Less than 2 weeks after the attack on the Bennetts in Colorado, a similar event happened 900 miles away in Kingman, Arizona. Roy Williams was attacked in his bed in the middle of the night by a man wielding a large rock. It wasn't a hammer this time. He just used a boulder because it was, I don't know, easier for him to find. Roy was hit multiple times before the attacker ran away. Police quickly located a strange shoe print near Roy's house, and within a few hours, a suspect was located. He had been hitchhiking in the area and was wearing shoes that matched the print found outside of Roy's home. The man was 23-year-old Alex Ewing, and he was from Colorado. He was charged with attempted murder for the attack on Roy, but a few months later, while awaiting trial, he was transferred to another jail due to overcrowding. During that transfer, Ewing managed to escape near Henderson, Nevada. A few days later, couple Chris and Nancy Berry were at home with their 2 children. Both Chris and Nancy were attacked by a man using an axe handle before he ran off into the night. Thankfully, their children were unharmed. Although police thoroughly searched the area, they didn't find the attacker. A few days after escaping, Ewing was caught after making a collect phone call to his brother, which, when I found out this detail, I was cheering because this guy escapes on a jail transport, and he's running around in Henderson, Nevada in August. It's fucking hot as hell, and he goes to a public payphone. This is 1989 or whatever. And he calls his brother on a public phone, but he doesn't have any money because he's just busted out of jail. So he calls collect. And then he tells his brother that he escaped from jail and he is sitting where he is. And the operator overheard it. So called the cops and said, hey, the guy that busted out of jail, this is where he's calling from. And he just admitted to breaking out of jail.
Jesus.
I loved it. The cops did find him. He was detained. He was re-arrested. And now he was also facing attempted murder charges for the attack on the Berries in Nevada because they linked him to that. In 1985, Ewing was convicted of the crimes in Nevada and sentenced to 110 years in prison. At that time, Nevada didn't take DNA samples from convicted felons. It would take years before a match was made. In the meantime, the Colorado cases were very cold. They did have DNA from the crime scenes, but no matches in the federal database. Decades passed with no answers until 2018, when a DNA match had finally been found. By this time, Ewing had served over 30 years in prison for his attack on the Berries, and he was getting close to being eligible for parole. But there was no escaping the fact that his DNA matched the semen found at the scene of the Bennett family attack and also the murder of Patricia Smith. In 2021, Ewing stood trial for the murders of the Bennett family. The defense attempted to poke holes in the case based on evidence collection methods that were conducted back in 1984, but they couldn't poke holes in the fact that his DNA matched. Duh.
Yeah.
His DNA matched the victims.
Evidence to me.
Right. And so he was convicted. He was sentenced to 3 consecutive life terms. In 2022, Ewing was convicted of Patricia Smith's murder and also sentenced to life in prison. He is now incarcerated in Colorado, serving 4 consecutive life sentences for the murders from 1984.
So is that 7 total, or just they added an extra one?
No, because of the other attacks, he was only convicted for the murders. He was not convicted for the assaults because the statute of limitations had run out on the assaults.
That's stupid.
So if he had not killed any of them, he probably wouldn't have been able to be prosecuted on anything, but he killed 4 people. 3 in the Bennett family and then Patricia Smith just a week before that. But because they were deceased, there was no expiration on the statute of limitations for that. And so they convicted him on the murders, but he was never tried for the assaults, just the murders.
Okay.
So he's never getting out.
Yeah.
4 consecutive life terms. He's going to be there for 400 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't want to know about these medical treatments, but
So I just have a big fat list of them, and I'm going to go through
Okay.
and we can discuss them.
debate and discuss.
Yes.
Okay.
So let's start off easy with bloodletting, which was used for fever, infections, headaches, mental illness, inflammation. Seemed like just the go-to.
Everything.
Instead of a Tylenol,
Yeah.
you use a bloodletting.
Right.
But
Your
how it
blood
was
is
done-
sick, therefore let's get it out of you.
A physician opened a vein with a blade or lancet and drained blood into a bowl. Sometimes dozens of leeches were also used to eat, which were stuck
Okay.
to the skin to suck out blood slowly.
I am amazed that you could get through that whole sentence without gagging because I know how much you hate that.
Yeah, but there's a lot worse things that
Oh, no.
in this list. I said we're gonna start off easy. It just
Oh,
I feel
that's
like
easy.
people
Great.
know about that one. Like,
Yeah,
you got
everybody
bad
knows about
blood.
that.
Let's get the bad blood out.
Yeah.
Why they believed it worked is because disease was thought to come from an imbalance of body fluids. So less blood
Yes.
equals balance restored. Next one, trepanation, used for seizures, head trauma, psychiatric symptoms, and migraines. How it was done: a cutting or scraping tool drilled or carved a hole through the skull.
Ooh,
No sterilization, limited pain control, and in some cases,
didn't know.
people survived and healed around the opening.
They didn't know what sterilization was back then.
No. They-
Ugh.
There's another one in here that is shows how little they
Great.
know about sterilization. But next one, mercury treatments, used especially for syphilis, but also parasites and skin problems. Patients swallowed mercury mixtures, rubbed ointments onto their skin, or sat in boxes filled with mercury vapor to inhale it. If you don't know,
Ugh.
mercury is
Poisonous.
very, very poisonous. Very poisonous.
Poisonous.
So this is my favorite one. This one's so funny to me. Tobacco smoke enemas.
What?
Used for resuscitating drowning victims.
What?
Also used for shock and abdominal pain, but its main use was for resuscitating drowning victims.
Are you going to explain how that's accomplished?
A tube was inserted into the rectum, and people would bellow tobacco smoke inside. Some rescue kits were kept along rivers for emergencies.
What?
Yes.
Oh, good Lord. I have never heard of that.
Yeah, that's fucking nutty.
What
So
the
another one
hell?
is Vin Mariani. So in 1863, Italian chemist Angelo Mariani came up with a healing tonic that contained red wine treated with coca leaves. This was a hit because coca leaves contain cocaine.
Yes.
He claims the drink was endorsed by 8,000 doctors and was ideal for overworked men, delicate women, and sickly children. Basically, the entire population.
Yes.
It was enjoyed by...
Give small children cocaine.
Cocaine wine.
Go even better. Yes, cocaine wine.
The drink was endorsed by 8,000 doctors. Oh, I just said that part. It was enjoyed by Thomas Edison, Queen Victoria, the Tsar of Russia, Pope St. Pius the X, and Pope Leo.
Pius.
Yeah. And this is the drink that inspired Coca-Cola.
Oh, fabulous.
Which also had cocaine in it. So the next treatment is Mumia. Can you guess what that's? Why
Don't
it's
tell
called
me
that?
that's like mummifying someone.
Mummy powder. Used for internal bleeding, bruises, ulcers. It was ground up remains from ancient Egyptian mummies who were mixed into drinks or sprinkled onto wounds.
No. Don't put dried up mummies near me.
The result of this was another treatment called the powder of sympathy. 17th century medicine can seem a bit crazy to modern people, but perhaps nothing seems wackier than Sir Kellen Digby's powder of sympathy. The powder was intended as a treatment for very specific injury, rapier wounds, which are like the fencing swords, I think.
Oh,
like the long,
so stab
wounds.
wounds.
Yes. It was made of, get this, ground up earthworms, pig's brains, iron oxide, and bits of mummified corpses ground into a powder. The powder was not applied to the wound itself, but the weapon. So for fencing, they'd put it on the tip of the weapon. So if you get stabbed, they believe that it would
help you
that
heal.
Powder would help you heal. And they called it sympathetic magic for some reason.
What the fuck?
I'm gonna skip this one for your sake, but it's maggot therapy. So we'll move on to the next one.
Oh no! Thank
Animal
you.
transfer cures.
Can't even the word.
I know. That's why I'm skipping it. Animal transfer cures. This is used for plague infections or inflammation. But how it was done is a live animal, usually a frog or a chicken, was placed against the sick area and tied there until it died. This was believed that the disease was thought to migrate from the patient to the animal.
We were fucking dumb.
I know.
My God.
The next one, radium, used for low fatigue, low libido, and arthritis. People drink radium-laced water or used radioactive creams and devices. Radiation was believed to be associated with new scientific power and energy. If it made things glow, surely it could make you glow too. Lobotomy.
Gives you superpowers.
Yeah. We've already talked about lobotomy, so go back and check our older episodes. Another thing, heroin medicines, cough syrup sold in grocery stores with heroin in it.
It's wild.
This one wigs me out, and ant therapy used for infections, wounds, even surgical closure. The jaws of biting ants were placed on a cut. Once they clamped down, the bodies were twisted off, leaving the heads to act like staples.
Oh my God. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Worms or leeches in the ear. Used for earaches or hearing problems. Live creatures were inserted or allowed near the ear canal to eat blockages or infection.
You are paying me back right now for every gross
Yeah.
story I have told, which I don't think is nearly as gross as anything you've said in the last 15 minutes.
Yeah, it's let's see, there's some more good ones on here. I'm going through various articles.
No, they're not good. They're terrible. It's so disturbing. People were so dumb.
Yeah.
How did we survive as long as we have?
It's honestly a miracle.
It is a miracle.
So waterboarding, which is now an illegal form
A
of
torture.
Was used as a medical treatment for mental health disorders. Many believing that the shock caused by the treatment could trigger positive responses in the brain.
You know, I would not, I mean, I don't want to have a psychiatric disorder right now, but having a psychiatric disorder 100 years ago would have been so much worse.
Yeah. They call you a witch and they throw you in the river. And if you
Right. Or
either way, you
they waterboard you, or they give you a lobotomy, or electric shock therapy, or so many different things.
So
It's awful.
another thing that this isn't really a treatment, but early, like, I guess. Oh wait, sorry. Early surgeons, instead of like using Botox, they would use paraffin wax as injections to tighten wrinkles.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my. Oh. Wow.
Yeah. But those are just a list of some of the different medical treatments that were used back in the day. Luckily, we don't use them anymore.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh my goodness. That.
yeah. Oh, wait, there was another one. Okay. This is very weird. The Katzenklaver. So this was a machine where several cats were lined up and tied down inside a long box with their tails immobilized and placed through holes near a keyboard. Like a conventional piano, this one had keys that, when pressed, controlled hammers with the cat piano. The hammers were set up to strike the cat's tail with sharp points, causing them to emit the sounds you'd expect cats to make in this situation. Playing this thing was meant to lift one's mood, according to German medical scientist Joanna Christian Riehl.
She's a fucking psychopath.
Yeah. And so that was the Katzenklaver, and it was intended to lift people's mood.
No, torturing a cat does not lift my mood.
No.
Torturing a bunch of cats definitely doesn't improve my mood. And if it does, you might be a psychopath.
And if you hear like the noises that cats make when they're like hurt or angry, it's
awful.
Really fucking awful noise. Like, who would think that would be good for mental health?
Psychopaths, sociopaths, serial killers.
Your depression,
People that
I think
I don't.
you need to listen to the sound of cats getting their tails hit with hammers.
No.
God.
That
Fucking
is
awful.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
I don't like those.
good thing. Thank you for modern medicine.
Yeah.
I don't have to get leeches put on me if I get stomach flu.
Right. I will say, out of all of those things that you mentioned, leeches is probably the least objectionable.
Yeah, that's why I started with it.
Which is saying something. That's saying a lot.
No, I think actually getting a frog strapped to your leg until it dies is probably better.
Oh, that's true.
That one I
You
feel
said a
like you could
frog
live
or a
with.
chicken.
Just probably some small animal that they could catch. I don't know.
No, because you know why? how bad that would be? You have a wiggling thing attached to your body. It's
That's what a leech
constantly
is
moving
too,
around.
right?
I don't think they wiggle. I think
But
they
they're
just
not. But
latch
the frog
on and
wouldn't suck your blood.
No,
Ugh.
but it's
That's
constantly
the part
like
that freaks me
wiggling
out,
and
is the
trying to
blood
get
sucking.
out. Ugh.
Eventually, I just killed
No.
myself. I just
Yeah, you're like,
that
okay,
motherfucker, but-
this is how you're gonna cure me. I guess I don't need to be cured.
Yeah.
I guess I'm dying with
Well.
whatever crazy affliction I have.
Do you have a chaser for us?
I do have a chaser, and it is another watch recommendation because it's, winter and all I do is watch TV.
Yeah.
This show is called Cold Water. It's on, I think it's Prime. And it's about this family who leaves London and they move to a town in Scotland. And the family that they move in next to is not all that they think the family will be. The couple is not great, and then some people die and some stuff happens and other people die, and it's got the lead character, I can't remember his name, but he was the guy in The Walking Dead.
Which one?
The main
There's
guy,
a
Rick.
couple of guys. Oh, Rick. Oh, yeah.
The main
Rick.
guy. And I knew that he was, let me go look his name up. Andrew Lincoln. He was the actor who played Rick in The Walking Dead. And I knew that he was British, but I have seen him in so many American things where he's, the entirety of Walking Dead and he's got no accent. And then when I started watching it, I was like, oh yeah, he really is British. There's his accent. I totally forgot.
Yeah, he was one of that voice actors in a audio drama that I tried to listen to. It wasn't the right setting for me, but I clicked on it because I saw his name, and I also forgot he was British. So I was listening to it. And I'm like, when the fuck is he gonna come in? I was expecting Rick Grimes.
Oh,
and then I after
gotcha.
realizing that, I'm like, oh yeah, he's British.
Oh yeah, whoops, he was British.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, he and his wife and their kids move into this family, and the husband is not a great person, and he does some pretty bad things. And I yelled at the TV a lot. And so did your dad. He was like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy? Come on.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I'll have to check it out. What's it called again?
Cold Water.
Cold Water. I think
it's short. It's only, I think it's 6 episodes.
Okay.
Yeah. It just finished.
So my chaser is a podcast called The Dr. John Deloney Show. And it's a call-in show, and it's people that are like calling in with their problems, basically. And he talks to them. I think he's a counselor and dropped a bunch of books and stuff like that. He seems like a therapist type person. I tried to look into his background, but he's mostly an author. But anyways, he interviews people, and it's everything. It's a lot of like relationship stuff, like, oh, my husband is living a double life, or like, my wife is a gambling addict, and like
juicy.
My son is like, it was like a lady who lived in a small town, and her son was arrested. He's like a major drug addict, and he's trespassed from their house and stuff. And he got arrested for kidnapping a 14-year-old. And she was like, how can I? Yeah, because she lives in a small town and she was getting hate on Facebook and like people were. And so she's like, what do I do? And
Move.
it's really interesting to hear. I like the show because he gives really good advice, and
Okay.
it's good to listen to. Sounds fucked up, but I like listening to other people's problems because it reminds me that mine aren't that bad. Like,
nope, I totally
a
get
lot
it.
of the times they're like, my problems seem like the world is going to end, and then you listen to someone else's problems, and it's like, oh, I should be grateful
You're like,
that I'm not
well,
dealing with
at least
that.
I don't have that problem.
Yeah.
Yes, I totally get it.
So I like it. It's like an
Interesting.
hour. He talks. He usually does 3 different calls, but
Okay.
it's an interesting listen and I wouldn't listen to it at work because sometimes I get emotional listening to it because these people are like, it's like real personal problems and they're like airing it all out. It's basically listening if you were a fly on the wall in someone's therapy session sometimes. And it's like, oh, this is weird. That's why I like it because he gets real deep and like people will. I think for one example, there was a girl who was struggling with making friends and he like, you could tell she was kind of lying to herself and he got her to admit that by like asking questions and like making her sit in it like a therapist would. And so it's like, it's
cool.
Basically like listening to someone else's therapy session.
Interesting.
It's super interesting.
Okay. That's cool. I like that.
Well, I think that just about wraps up today's episode. Thanks for listening, everybody. Love you, Mom.
Yes, thanks for joining us again. We appreciate you for hanging out with us every week.
Yeah, always good to hang out with you guys.
Love you, bud.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, friends. Thank you for supporting our podcast. Please share our show with your brutal and bizarre friends. Give us a boozy follow on your favorite podcast platform. If you're feeling extra generous, we'd appreciate a 5-star rating or review as well. But maybe do that sober so all the letters are in the right place.
You can find all our contact information in the show notes. We love hearing from you, and if you're interested in helping us stock the bar for our future boozy episodes, you can find our Patreon link in the show notes as well.